Francis Uka is my name. I'm a human resource consultant and also the host of Hustle Intelligence on Solid FM Enugu and Omega FM in Anambra. I have a lot of takeaways from the Southeast Economic Summit that was facilitated by SEREDEC. But on account of time, I'll just maybe mention a few. First of all, the awareness. There's a whole lot of awareness that dawned on me in that summit that literally revolutionized my thinking processes and thought patterns, especially as it has to do with myself as an Igbo person, with the goings on around our space in the Southeast and other things generally. The awareness, first of all, of the fact that there are a crop of people, especially in the generation of our fathers, who are thinking in that kind of light, thinking about driving massive infrastructural development in the Southeast it brought healing to my soul, because I grew up in the West. I came to the Southeast to do tertiary education, and then I settled after that. So I had seen life there, and then I began to see life the way it is here. So the huge disappointment, as a matter of fact, before I attended that summit, my mind was going around plans to move, to relocate, like I've seen many other people who are doing their stuff and they feel like the Southeast is not favoring them, and then they move. I was already thinking about, look, I think I need to move as well. I was beginning to see a whole lot of those things that those people saw, and then they moved. But that summit changed my mind, all right? It made me see reason to try and stay back and perhaps be a part of this great move to ensure that we live a far better Southeast than we met for our children. The awareness of the fact that, apart from the fact that they are thinking it, they are also already doing it. The fact that there is a coming together of the Southeast governors, all right, to endorse what SEREDEC is doing and actually adopt SEREDEC as the main vehicle for driving infrastructural development in the Southeast. That's something, some kind of stuff I've never seen or heard of in the Southeast. All of my days, ever since I grew up and stuff up until now. The awareness also that they are thinking about young people, not just about driving infrastructural development, but they're thinking about how they can empower young people, how they can incorporate young people, make young people a core part of what they are doing. Now that's because before now my awareness serves me to understand that there is always this conflict between the older and the younger generation, especially in this part of the country. You hardly ever see the younger and the older generation doing things together. There's always that disconnect. But the SEREDEC scenario proves different, and otherwise the awareness of the power plants in Aba facilitated by SEREDEC through geometric power, and of course the huge what they call it again now, the leather cluster in Aba. I mean, those presentations blew my mind away. Before now, we didn't really have any idea that these things were actually happening in the Southeast. So to see that, apart from the fact that we can actually become, self-dependent, we can become economically viable, okay? We can actually serve the world. Beyond that, we can serve the world. The fact that these people have been exporting leather works, to various African countries and even Europe and America was a major eye-opener, that this is just a tip of the iceberg of what can be possible. Now, with regards to the impact, what I think the impact of these projects that SEREDEC is driving will make in the Southeast. There are quite many, again, on account of time. Just a few. First of all, if you studied history, looking at especially how independence came about in various African countries, one of the factors you see there is the return of ex-servicemen. Because these men had gone out, seen life, okay, so when they came back, they had enough knowledge and awareness to know that, look, we can take power, we can become independent by ourselves. So we're about to witness a revolution of sorts as a result of the fact that Igbos, Igbo who have done well for themselves abroad in different parts of the world, and as well as the West in Nigeria, will be wont to come back home to bring their expertise, their experience, and even their resources to bear in the process of this whole development. They're going to take part both in the development itself and also reap from the benefits of the same. That's something very, very, amazing. It's going to change the entire climate in the Southeast for good. Then also the fact that, things are not going to be business as usual. I mean, the list of amenities, is still a problem in the Southeast. The fact that we're going to have power, I can't stop imagining, because of the ingenuity of the average Igbo man, I cannot stop imagining the kind of innovations, the kind of inventions, the kind of creations that would come out if we have access to 24-hour power in this part of the country. The fact that we're going to have a state-of-the-art hospital, international standard, where we don't have to travel abroad to get Medicare, a hospital that in itself is a tourist site. For once, the Southeast people will begin to see how much potential we have in tourism, that we can tap into and actually become, as a matter of fact, the destination, investment and tourism destination of the entire Africa. As a matter of fact, the fact that jobs will be available to our many young people. I mean, we are very given, to education in this part of the world. A lot of our people, when they finish studying, they have to go outside because our space does not have the industries that can absorb them, does not have, the kind of economic development it takes to get those kind of people engaged. So they have to go somewhere where they can be useful. The fact that they can come back home and, become useful, and the fact that the ones that are still here, trying to build a portion for themselves, can become gainfully engaged. The fact that as you're going to school, that upon the time when you're leaving school, studying what you're studying, there are opportunities waiting for you. I mean, it makes you want to be serious with your academics, as opposed to what we have obtainable presently, because there's something waiting. If you can, make yourself good enough, you can be easily absorbed. There's a whole lot really tied around these things. The fact that families can become empowered, and of course, it will force crime rates, to go almost extinct completely in our environment, because people are gainfully engaged and are economically viable. People are not going to be thinking about the bad name that we are gaining in international community of getting involved in all kinds of fraudulent and criminal activities is going to seriously nosedive, because the energies, the ingenuity, the creativity that is being channeled negatively can now be channeled positively in order to create value. We can't wait really for these things to begin to happen. We're very happy, we're very excited about the great work that SEREDEC is doing, and of course to be a part of it.